Hi everybody. Tonight it is a slightly different show. Maybe you want to run and
what's that,
find
Peter?
out. What's wrong?
Oh, there's just a slight delay.
A slight delay,
Yep.
is there? Oh, a slight delay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Sorry, guys. We've got a trainee up the back here, which he will be, Peter is on the computer at the moment, but he'll be on the couch with us soon. But tonight we've got Talisha and myself because Darren is in WA. Yes, he's actually technically in WA at the moment. So he's on the Nullarbor right now. But we are going to fill in for him and you will hear from him during the show. So this show will cover off stock updates, the newsletter rundown, the golden relic of the week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you've got that one covered. We'll have the weekly Q&As, your burning questions answered. There's an old mine site that Darren will cover, which is a glimpse into the past. Friday's Campground, Discover Steiglitz, about treasure metal detectors, what you need to know. And we've got some really good prizes coming up for 2 people tonight. And Peter is here. Yay. So you guys, you requested Peter. They actually did, Peter. They requested.
You asked,
he
we
doesn't
listened.
believe it. That's it. Yeah, you asked, we listened. So next up, we will do our 2 random winners. So these are we've got 2 of these to give away. The Mine Lab water bottles. So you don't see them around too much. So they're quite rare. So the 2 random winners will be chosen for commenting on which metal detector you currently own or want to buy. Okay, so then we'll choose 2 that answer that question from the comments tonight, and you'll have a water bottle. How cool.
Next, we're going to flick over to a video of Dad. Just a quick update from him today. So I'll throw that over to you, Peter.
Yeah, it's Darren here from Lucky Strike Gold. Sorry I can't make the show tonight, guys, but it's in good hands back home. I'm actually on the Nullarbor at the moment. That way, yeah, Mandurah Pass, that's actually where I am. It's that way goes to Adelaide. That way goes to Kalgoorlie. But yeah, I had to leave Sunday. I've got some mining claims in Western Australia and I've got some obligations to meet. So it's basically a quick trip over there and back within 2 weeks. So I'll catch her on the next show. Yeah, it's Darren here from Lucky Strike Gold. Sorry I can't make the show tonight, guys, but it's in good hands back home. I'm actually on the Nullarbor at the moment. That way, yeah, Mandurah Pass, that's actually where I am. It's that way goes to Adelaide. That way goes to Kalgoorlie. But yeah, I had to leave Sunday. I've got some mining claims in Western Australia and I've got some obligations to meet. So it's basically a quick trip over there and back within 2 weeks. So I'll catch her on the next show.
Guys, we'll go into a stock update now. So this week we had magnet fishing kits back in stock. Some of the different types had sold out. We had the CC picks arrive in store, which was always a joy to see. And the GPX 6000 batteries arrived from Minelab. So they've been out of stock for a little while. They were on back order with Minelab. So if you're after a GPX 6000 battery, they are in store now. We also received in some of our Monarch stock, which are things like coil stiffeners and pinpointer holders, that type of thing. So if you've had one on order, they will be getting in contact with you very shortly from the shop. We have XP MI4 pinpointers on the way, and we have more GPX 4500s because they have sold out. So they are going really well. So if you want one, guys, now would be the time. Talisha is back joining us now. Don't know that one.
Gold price.
Yeah.
Quick update on that from the last 7 days. Oh, didn't add in the image today, but I think it was around $1.48. Was it, Peter? Yeah, $1.48, and that was around 3 p.m. today. So it has dropped down a little bit in the last 7 days because it was around the $1.50 mark last week.
So
don't have Dad's expertise on why it's...
but I'm thinking it may have something to do with Trump getting President Zelensky to the table to talk about ending the Ukraine-Russia war. So that's a big one. But I still think there's some mileage in the gold price yet, with Trump talking about bringing back the US dollar to align with the gold price. So who knows, guys? It's kind of anybody's guess.
And that talk of Trump trying to end the Ukraine war, that just adds
more volatility, do you think?
I was thinking the opposite in a way. Does it make it feel safer, therefore the gold price is going down?
Yeah, that's right. It does. Yeah, it's a little bit uncertain, but I think Zelensky has now come to the table because going against Trump is really not going to be in his favour. So,
and I see they haven't had a very good relationship. Apparently, Trump was offended by his casual outfits he was wearing to the meetings.
Right. Okay. Yes, Mr. Trump. Fair enough then. So yeah, dress up when you go see Donald Trump.
Getting a suit.
Getting a suit and a tie.
One thing we will say is just pop your comments anywhere in the comments.
That's it.
Chuck your comments in the comments section.
Sounds good to me.
And we'll just review those as we go along, and we'll put them up, and hopefully we can, between the three of us, we can do the best to answer them.
Yes, that's it. That'll be good. Any we can't answer, we'll hold off until next week.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Do you want to do the newsletter rundown?
Okay, so this week one of our main features was on an article about Stacey Pink, and we're still going through our 2024 favourite finds. I think we've got about another maybe 4 entries to go through until we can pick a winner, so that's pretty exciting. We've got quite a lot of entries come through for that.
That's good. Thanks, guys, for sending them in.
Yeah, amazing to read them all. But this is one that is a standout to me. It really kind of touches the heartstrings. So last year, Stacey Pink found a World War I medal. It was engraved with a number, and she was able to trace that back to a man named Thomas Wilson Connor. So she found this piece in Ballarat, and Stacey used her connections, used Facebook to track down the next of kin. And this lady was Kate Smith, and she lives in Canberra now.
And that's some achievement to actually track
on its own.
That person down.
Absolutely. I didn't realise how traceable the medals are.
Okay.
If it's got a number, you can then trace it back to the owner.
Okay.
So I believe Kay was aware that he had lost this medal. So Kay is his great-great-granddaughter's niece.
Wow.
So there's a few connections there over the time. But Thomas didn't have any children, so she is his closest living relative. The medal had been missing for over 100 years, and Kay was really happy to reconnect with this part of history and her family tree.
That's so nice.
So yeah, Stacey said she's preparing to send this over to Kay, and she's going to keep us updated on how she reacts. So.
Yeah, that's great. Is she going to give it to her personally, or is she sending it to her?
She's sending it by post.
Right, okay, yeah.
I guess it's a fair old trip from Ballarat to Canberra.
Oh, she's in Canberra, yeah. Of course. Fair enough.
But I know that they've spoken on the phone or via emails quite a few times. Yeah, they seem to be pretty thrilled with this discovery.
Yeah, as you would, because I remember it was Darren found a little medal down at Colac, and we got in touch with the Colac Historical Society, and they tracked down the next of kin to this person who had been in a retirement home and they had passed on, but this lady that they'd tracked down was the nearest of kin, and she was a niece, I believe, and had helped move the stuff out of the nursing home when her auntie passed away, and it was in the gardens of this nursing home. And she was quite thrilled to find it, but it was like going down a rabbit hole. It had the name on it though. It had the name of the guy who was great grandfather or something of this woman. So yeah, it was I think it was a football medal actually.
Okay.
And
how long ago would that have been?
The medal was actually like about the 30s, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was a couple of years ago, I suppose, that Darren found it.
Yeah. So like a country league football
Yeah, it
medal?
was I think it was like Winchelsea, I think it was Winchelsea. And it was actually, they were done in gold back then, so it was like a gold medal.
Yeah.
So it had some value to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it might have weighed like a gram.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was very happy to get it back. Very good. Okay, blue bowl kits. Have you seen the new blue bowl kits, Talisha?
Yes, I have. So the new blue bowl kits, it's essentially the same components but with some upgrades made to them. So the flexi hose has been updated, because I don't know if you noticed before, but the hose was quite sort of rigid, and it made the setup quite hard to connect to your bowl, to your pump. But this new hose is super flexible, so I think
so it'd be easier just to get the whole thing connected and up and running.
Yeah.
And the idea behind the blue bowl kit is you connect it to your garden hose, and it's a little bit like panning, I suppose, but you use the pressure from the hose to separate the gold from the sands, and you need to adjust your pressure on your hose to get it right, but it will leave the gold at the bottom, and all your dirt will be spinning around and go out the centre hole, because of course that'll be lighter than the gold. So that's sort of the basic premise behind it.
And it's a great portable option as well. You can just carry the bucket as is, chuck it in a backpack if you want to be a bit more discreet, and take it to your favourite areas, do it in your backyard, take it to a friend's house.
Yeah, that's right.
And
very portable.
$349, but great
$349.95.
Yeah.
Yep, great price. Make the job a little bit easier. Okay, one of the tips in the newsletter is participate in online prospecting forums, communities and Facebook groups to connect with experienced prospectors, and you can ask questions and you can share tips. There's also a Lucky Stripe Gold Facebook group, so if you're not on that one, great idea to jump on that one and join up. So these communities are valuable resources for learning and networking, sharing ideas, and just, connecting with each other. So you never know what you'll learn on them.
Absolutely.
So great idea to get on there.
And I just want to add that our Facebook group is a great place to ask for tips, ask for settings, share your finds, and connect with other local detectorists. we monitor it. So if you've got a question, pop it in there and we'll get to it. Yeah.
You get your answers all in one spot. Perfect. Okay, we have National Detecting Day coming up on Saturday the 28th of March. So that's only a few weeks away, guys. So it's on a Saturday. Oh, yes, I'd said that. Just drumming that into you. We will be having some super good specials in the store, up to 50% off. There'll be demos and guest speakers. I'd love to name them, but I think we have to ask them, yeah. Some VIP guests. We do have a good VIP guest coming, but I will confirm once again just before we let that one out of the bag.
And don't forget the free barbecue.
Free barbecue, that's right. And I believe Brad from Mine Lab has put his hand up to do the barbecue again this year, like he did last year. So come along and you can ask any questions of Brad from Mine Lab as well. So it's a great day, and you'll hear the guest speakers. We have seats set up, and yeah, there'll be some interesting things. Darren will be there, and he'll be there to answer any questions as well. And it goes from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So just over that lunchtime break. So yeah, come in, see what we've got. Last year we had a big second-hand table too.
Yeah, we did.
I actually had COVID last year,
You
so
did.
I didn't get to experience it, unfortunately. I was so upset, and I'd actually gone into the shop to help set up, and I was feeling a little bit snuffly, and I thought, oh, just in case, I better do a test before the event starts. And I couldn't believe it when I tested positive. Said to Darren, but I don't want to go home. I want to just stay and enjoy it. It's like, well, clearly I have to go home. So I was really disappointed missing out on that one. So
do you know that was actually 12 months ago? So that marks my 12
your
months.
anniversary.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So end of March.
Yeah.
Good job, Talisha.
So all that we've just talked about now is just a summary from what we put in our newsletter. So if you're not already getting our newsletter, you can scan this QR code to enter it. On this page as well is our $50 competition. So share your finds. It can be gold, it can be relics, it can be any random things you find out detecting, and you'll go in the running to win $50. And $50 gets drawn each month. It will be recontinuing once we've announced our 2024 Find of the Year winner. But start getting your entries in now, and you might be one of the first ones to go in our next newsletter editions.
Cool. No, get those comments and things happening.
We're about to head over to a video, but before I jump off from here, we did just see on our Facebook as we were logging into this live that Holly, as many of you may remember, is having a baby. So her and Cody.
Congratulations, Holly. Holly used to work for us, and she left to pursue psychology studies, and she had a part-time casual position with a psychology practice in Geelong. So yeah, we love that they're expecting a baby. That's wonderful news.
Might be another little prospector on the way.
Maybe. Yeah, so congratulations.
Now we're just going to jump over to a video. Dad and I were out at Steiglitz, and he showed me this track in an old mine. So he's even showing me plenty that I didn't know was there. It's right beneath, so close to home. So yeah, we'll just jump over to that now, Peter.
Yeah, it's Darren here. We're just at the remains of an old mine site. You can see the foundations here. There's still one wall there. There probably was another wall on the other side there. And this is where the old engine house would have been. Now the old engine house probably would have been steam driven, I'd say, probably around 1900, 1910. But look at the size of the mullock heap there. So what the old engine house did was it drove like a big pulley with a cable, and there would have been a big timber poppet head here with the big wheel on top. And then there would have been a cable that would have went to a shaft. Now I know that the shaft is over the back there, it is filled in, but look, that shaft could have went down, gee, I hate to think, maybe, you know, 100, 200 feet, and then they would normally tunnel. They will go down so far and they'll tunnel north, they'll tunnel south. If the gold ran out, then they'd go down another level and tunnel again. But yeah, it would have been good to still see in its day. But when the cable and the shaft, they would have lowered down the miners, down a safety cage, they used to call them. It was a big steel platform, I suppose, and they just stand in there, hold onto the edge and got dropped down. But that would also be used as to pull the old ore carts up with the dirt, and then there would have been tracks there and the workers would have pushed the cart along, undone the catches and dumped the dirt. So the amount of dirt that's there, it's either gone down a long way or it's tunnelled a long way. And what you'll probably find, because the gold in reefs generally run north-south, so north is this way, there's probably another mine either south of this one or north of that one, and they probably underground, they'll all link up with each other. So there'll be another one down that way, there'll be another one down that way. But with gold, it depends where it's actually made, as to this one might have been a lot richer than the other one to the south or to the north, but it's just like winning Tats Lotto. But yeah, interesting place.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Right now we're looking at the gold of the week. I'm not really sure. Oh, actually, we was meant to do the other one, I think. I think we were looking at, what are we looking at, Lash? Relic of the week, are we?
Gold of the week's a video.
Okay, so shall we do the relic of the week first? And then we'll do the gold of the week. Okay, so this is what I've been given to show you guys. It looks like a very original bottle. And it is, can't even see what colour that is. Black, is it? Black bottle?
It'd have to be like a whiskey bottle or something, wouldn't it? Or a rum bottle, or...
Well, that's anybody's guess. Maybe somebody out there can actually
Let us know.
tell us what it is. Yeah. So it has no markings on it that I can see. A bit of a concave bottom there and some very unique mud on it. Dried up mud. Nice. Okay, now we'll go to the gold of the week. I think Darren's got a video of that. Is that right? A short little video on it. Okay, he must have really liked this gold, I think. I'm not sure exactly why, what, or anything. Okay. I don't know whether I've on the right spot now. Yes, I am. Okay, so Golden Relics tours. All of our boot camps are sold out. By the looks of it, for this half of the year, we will be releasing more later on. With our all-inclusive tours, we have some spots available. We've got 5 spots on the 2nd of June, which is a Kalgoorlie tour, and we have 6 spots on the 23rd of June at Leinster. So if you're looking for an all-inclusive tour in WA, that's what we have left. And we have some tag-along spots available on the very newly released Meekatharra tour. So if you're looking for a tag-along where you bring your own vehicle, your own caravan, tent, swag, whatever, and you're basically self-sufficient and you camp on our leases generally. With the Meekatharra tour, Darren has some spots that he's got in mind to take you. They're not actually on our leases, they're on other leases, but it should be a really good tour. We haven't done Meekatharra for a few years now, so that'll be a great one. The boot camp, oh Peter, you did this boot camp, didn't you? Maybe you could give us a bit of a rundown on it.
Well, it was at Castlemaine, and The good thing about our boot camps is that people can get a lot of personal training with their detectors, and also understanding of what ground to detect, what signs to look for, where to start detecting. And on the second day, people had success because there was 14 pieces found on the second day, which was good.
That's
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
And the boot camp was what, a 2-day boot camp?
2-dayer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. So 14 pieces on the second day.
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it? And that's one piece in the photo there, clearly on the hand.
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. You don't know how big that was?
Oh, it looks half a gram, 0.6 of a gram.
Okay.
The size of it, it's a bit flat.
Yeah.
But people get a lot of value out of our boot camps because they do get that one-on-one from myself and Dave. So, and by the end of it, people have had a really good experience and learnt a lot about their machines and about ground and where to look. And they get a couple of spots too, because we take them to good spots. So
that's
they
right.
get a couple of spots up as well.
That's
so
you take them to spots where they're likely to find something.
Yes,
so.
and they can go back to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's very
We
good.
always get really good feedback from the boot camps. So, yeah, it's a great way to just take your detecting to the next level, isn't it?
And in whichever way you can, because Dave and myself, we're lucky enough to have experienced all sorts of detecting and all types of detecting, and we can pass on that experience to people, which I think is good. And we want to, because we've both got the same mindset that we really want to help people, and we get excited as much as the people who are at the boot camp when they find a piece.
And you've been detecting for how long, Peter?
I've been prospecting since I was 16, and I'm 65 now.
Okay, that's a few years then.
Yeah, probably 30 years of detecting.
Right, okay.
I started with a GPX 3000, so I started with the 3000, then got the 35, 4, 45, 5, then stopped detecting for a while, and then got into it again and got myself a 45 again, and then when the 6 came out, got myself a 6.
Right, and how are you enjoying the 6?
Well, it's a great detector. Every time I've gone out, I've managed to find a piece of gold because of my experience. So it's just a matter of learning where to wave that machine over the ground that gives yourself a chance to find a piece of gold, and you will.
Yeah,
you will.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like there's a learning curve, isn't there, with detecting. Some people think that they can just pick up a machine and go out and find gold. It's
not
a little
that
more
easy.
complicated than that.
It's not that easy.
It just takes time to get to know your machine, get to know the ground,
and your technique for detecting.
That's right.
And being able to listen to those subtle sounds that the detector gives.
And guys like Peter and Dave are great at imparting that information because it's not easy to find somebody to actually help you prospect.
I've come across so many people in the shop and in the gold field, and they're all pleading for help basically. But it's hard. You can't help everyone.
No, that's right.
It's impossible. But we try and give them as much help as possible. But
but coming on the boot camps is a really good way to just hook into that. And we get a lot of people coming back, 3 and 4 times, don't we?
Multiple
even
times.
more. So it must be working, Peter.
I hope so. Well, it'd be nice to know from people to get a bit of feedback, but I think it is because of the returning customers, and people are happy by the end of it.
That's right, and we do get really good feedback
because it's more than just detecting. We go into mapping if people want to, and into apps that'll help them find areas as well. Yeah,
there's basically no questions off the board, is there?
No.
Anybody can ask anything. So
it's good that way.
Yeah, that's good. Alrighty, so next up we have a campground video. Is it Friday Campground? That's the name of the campground. And that's at Steiglitz, I believe. So Darren is out there giving you an intro to this campground.
It's Darren here. If you're looking somewhere to go over a weekend, just have a bit of a walk around in the bush, somewhere to relax. We're out near Steiglitz and it's called Friday's Campground. Look, there is no prospecting here because it's a national park, but it's just a real pretty place. Look, these old pine trees here probably have been here 100 years, I'd say, but there's barbecues down here. There's a toilet block over there, which is just a long drop. It's a bit hard to see, but it's over the back there. But lots of seating, table. And from what I can see, there's what, 1, 2, 3, there's about 4 barbecues here. But yeah, there probably would have been an old house or something here. Looks like they got an old tree plant fenced off there. But yeah, just a real nice relaxing area here. There's the nice plants down the back there. And I see there's a sign down there that says that there was a sawmill, I think it was 12 k's away. So in this area, back probably around the 19th century there would have been steam engines around this area. So the sawmill would have been cutting down timbers for the steam engines for the mining activity in the area. But yeah, pretty place, and yeah, don't forget to come here.
Okay, next up, we've got the Equinox 900, which is a treasure metal detector. And Peter is going to explain, because Peter does do the training on this machine. So he's going to explain all about it.
Yeah. First thing I'd like to say is when you initially get the machine, don't be overphased by the amount of settings and information that's on the machine. Just go out and use it and just see with the targets you're digging up. Just how can I say, just experience it first before you get into the nitty-gritty of it, because it can get very complicated. Any questions you think you got?
Yes, I've got questions.
Right.
Lots of questions. So just on that point, Peter, you would say like dig every target to start with, so you know what it is?
Definitely. Yes,
yeah, so you kind of get your head around it.
Yeah. You need to dig every target because you need to learn the ID numbers and the ID numbers that you want to chase. And with the machine having double the ID spread, it gives you better identification of the target that you've got. Sometimes all machines can't exactly give you what it is, but with the target ID on here, it gives you a very good idea as to what you've got under the coil.
So Peter, for people that don't know, the target ID comes up on the screen. Yep. I don't know whether
we can turn on even if. Why not? Oh, it might be.
Might get a bit too noisy.
Yeah, it might get noisy. But the target ID comes up on here. Yeah, so it comes up with a number.
Okay, so that says 37.
Yep.
Okay, so then we need to
Which
identify
is my ring,
what
my gold
37
ring, my wedding ring.
is. So that'll be gold for sure then.
That's gold, but also you can get smaller gold on a smaller number. So this is one of the reasons why you must dig everything and research yourself what the numbers are and what they mean. That's really important part of the learning process of this sort of machine.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Peter. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that new users make when using the Equinox 900?
Well, as you can hear now, this machine is running really steady and quiet, and we're in the middle of a house.
Is that still on, is it?
That's on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually thought it was off.
Yeah, no, it's on.
Okay.
So that's what you want. You want that steady, quiet sound. So there's a few things that you can do to improve that. Sensitivity. You can adjust sensitivity. There's a plus and minus button here that you can adjust to adjust the sensitivity. And what you do is you set your sensitivity, you swing your coil over the ground, and if it starts making noises at you, you just lower the sensitivity by 1 and then do the same until the machine is quiet when you're swinging. That is very easy to do. If you're searching parks or you're doing the beaches, it's relatively easy to get your sensitivity right. You really don't have to do much. But in the gold field, it's a different story because of the mineralisation in the ground. And each gold field has got its own level of mineralisation as well. So you really just need to turn the machine on, just swing it around, and then if it's making false noises at you while you're swinging, they're not targets. It's just the minerals in the ground. Just lower your sensitivity until you got your machine quiet, and then away you go. A few other one important thing also is to ground balance on the machine. If you go into settings, I won't go into too much detail, otherwise we'll be here for hours. But if you go into settings, there's a ground balance setting there. You hold the machine down, press the button, pump your machine up and down, and ground balance your machine. It's also got auto tracking as well, so that will track the ground for you. So that will help stabilise your machine and keep it quiet so you can hear the more sensitive sounds.
Right.
Another important thing to do is a proper swing. So when you swing the coil, you must make sure that you're parallel to the ground as much as possible. I know some in goldfields that can't be done all the time, but it's important to keep your swing parallel to the ground and as close to the ground without touching the ground. Because the moment your coil touches the ground, you're going to get false signals. So keep the coil above the ground, swing parallel to the ground, and with a coin machine, you can swing a little bit faster than a PI machine, which is the way they're made. What else?
Which is something that we notice when we're getting particularly people from overseas coming on a tour and they're used to coin and relic hunting and they're swinging too fast for the gold hunting.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can tell the people who are coin hunters from the people who are gold hunters on their tours. Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, we need to slow them down.
Yeah.
We say we're going to tie some rope around their legs on the tour.
Right. And on the point about not letting the coil touch the ground, like with gold, with some machines, that doesn't matter, does it?
No, with the PI machines, the gold machines, you must rub it on the ground to get the best, I suppose, to hear those because you want to hear those little sounds. That's what you want to maximise when you're hunting for gold. With this, with the coin machine, with Equinox, if you rub it on the ground, it's the way the wires are done in the package. It sounds off. It makes a noise.
It's going to give you false sounds.
It's going to give you false sounds, and all VLF machines are the same.
Okay.
Yeah, you must keep them off the ground.
Yeah, that's good to know.
There's no difference. Doesn't matter what machine you buy.
Okay, excellent.
All right. Next question.
Next question. Okay. What tips do you have for maximising finds and reducing junk signals? I know you have touched on it a little bit, but there's more, isn't there?
Yeah. Maximising your finds, well, because of the target ID is so good, you really need to initially dig everything. I remember when I've had quite a few coin and relic machines myself, and I've always had to learn the machine, learn how they sound, learn the ID numbers that come up, and then from that, you can then start maybe picking and choosing, and you can use the discrimination pattern on these to eliminate certain targets. So you don't hear, the ring pulls that come up as pure ring pulls. You can eliminate those, and you can use the accept and reject buttons also to cherry pick. So you want to look just for $1 and $2 coins,
Mm.
well, you can set the machine up to do that.
Right. But that then will cut out like
Yes,
gold rings or something
Yes,
like that.
it cuts out other
Mm.
other targets, but
Yep.
you can cherry pick that way.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing I've found is that you just leave it open, because I've seen videos and things of people who've had multiple rings come up with multiple IDs, and finding a ring out of, I suppose that's one of the prizes, that or a gold sovereign is one of the prizes. It would be a shame to miss out on something because you discriminated out too much.
Yeah,
the
that's
IDs.
right. Yeah.
Adjust sensitivity properly, we've talked about that. Optimize your ground balance, we've talked about that. Use noise cancel, talked about that. Core control,
Yep. Probably pretty much covered that one, you reckon?
Yep.
Okay. If someone is upgrading from the Equinox 800, is the 900 worth the extra cost?
It is if you want to step up another gear, because this detector has got a 4 kilohertz extra band in there.
And what does that mean exactly?
That means you can find, say, silver, deep silvers, easier.
Mm-hmm.
The lower frequencies penetrate the ground more, and can lead to finding deeper targets.
Right.
So you can get a lot more success in because it's got a much bigger range of frequencies that it's putting into the ground than the 800. So that's the step up. So that's one thing. Another thing is the extra ID numbers. You get double the ID numbers.
Okay.
So target separation is better.
So it's going to be more accurate with
More accurate with
identifying.
what you're finding. Yes.
Okay.
It's got a carbon fibre shaft, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a bit
So
lighter,
it's lighter and stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And also you get 2 coils with it. You get the 11-inch coil, which is good for your standard, say, beach hunt. And then you get your 6-inch coil, and your 6-inch coil is good for a couple of situations. One, in trashy areas, in parks. So what's good about it is that it separates out the ID numbers because it's a small coil, yet it punches really deep. I was surprised when I used my 6-inch coil, and I thought, that's getting depth still. And that actually really surprised me about the coil. Because normally with smaller coils, it's the opposite. Yeah, you lose a bit of depth.
That's right.
But because I suppose we're looking for coins and bigger objects, you don't actually lose much depth. The only thing you're going to lose is coverage, because obviously 6-inch coil is not going to cover the ground as well.
Yeah.
But it will give you that target separation. So when I swing in a park, it'll show me a pull tab number, a 1-cent piece number, and another one that are really close together.
Yeah.
And I can and then I can say, okay, it's worth the 1-cent piece number ID came up, so okay, I'm going to dig that up.
Yeah. And the 6-inch coils have been extremely popular as an aftermarket coil for the 800s as well. Right. So they're definitely worth their weight in gold, those 6-inch coils.
And also, if you want to take this out in the gold field, you must use the 6-inch coil to give yourself a chance of finding some gold.
Yeah. By
using the 6-inch coil, it gives you that chance of finding those small bits of gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
absolutely.
other machines, won't hear.
Okay.
Also, I've used a 6-inch coil at home when I've smashed up my quartz specimens. Because you get a big rock and you smash it up, and then you've got all these little rocks, and you don't know which one's holding the gold.
Okay.
So I turn it on with the 6-inch coil in my garage, and I wave over each rock, and then the one that makes the noise has got the gold in it.
Okay.
Saves me crushing it all.
That's
even more.
That'd save a lot of time.
Yes, it does. Because sometimes you bring home a specimen that's huge.
It's huge. That's a great idea.
Yeah. All right.
And so the stock coils, so we say there's the 11-inch and the 6-inch are great.
Yep.
What about aftermarket coils?
Yeah, I think if you want greater depth, you need to go and get get the 15-inch coil, the bigger coil.
Right. Yeah.
And so with the 15-inch coil, you're going to get better coverage for starters, and then you're going to get better depth as well on objects. So
Yeah.
that's the advantage of the aftermarket coil.
Yeah. Okay. And Coiltech also bring out a Knox coil, I
Yes,
believe, too,
they
don't
do.
they? A little
Yeah.
one, which
Yep.
is an elliptical.
Yep.
Which is very sensitive as
Of
well.
course. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Next question. How well do the wireless headphone systems perform compared to wired headphones?
Well, once you use a wireless headphone, you're never going to go back to a corded headphone.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
It just becomes cumbersome.
Right.
corded
Just
headphones.
Being tied up.
Tied up to the machine.
Yep.
It's much easier. Just have them on here. In reality, you don't use the headphones that often because the speaker on here is fantastic.
Yeah.
And gives you a really good signal. The only time you might consider using it is on the goal field, because you're listening for when you're in the goal detecting mode, you're listening for a break in the threshold. So you can hear that better with the headphones.
Right.
And also, if you're on a beach and it's a windy, what are those southerly winds down here in Victoria?
Yeah.
You know, or it's blowing your head off.
Yeah.
You put them on and it stops all that sea noise and keeps your ears warm as well. Yeah.
Like earmuffs.
Yes, basically. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. What's the maximum depth the Equinox 900 can detect, and how does that compare to its competitors?
Oh, maximum depth. That's a good question.
It's kind of like how long's a piece of string.
Look, it depends on the target, really. I'd be lying if I didn't say that. And how do I compare it with the competitors? Well, this has got multi IQ plus, so it's been tuned to really maximise the depth of this machine, of how Minelab have designed the electronics in this machine. So you're really getting a top of the line machine.
Yeah.
And you're guaranteed it's going to be top of the line because it comes from Minelab. They spend millions of dollars in research and development.
That's right. They don't bring out rubbish machines. No,
really. No, they bring out really good machines.
Yeah, they're good quality, aren't they?
They are good quality.
Yeah.
And they're always making them better, which is amazing to me.
That's right.
Somehow they find a way of making it better. And in this machine, it's got that multi IQ plus, which gives you better depth and sensitivity.
That's right. Okay, so how does the 900 handle mineralised soil, saltwater beaches and iron-infested areas?
Well, mineralised soil, it's not bad, but it's like any VLF. You have to adjust the sensitivity to the conditions. And once you adjust the sensitivity, you'll be fine. You won't get any false signals. On the beach, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Unbelievable on the beach. And in the water as well. And you've got, with the iron infested areas, you can adjust. It's got an iron bias on there, so you can cut down unwanted iron targets. So if you use the trashy parks settings, the default setting on the machine is high. In Relic mode, it's low. In beach detecting mode, it's medium. Gold prospecting mode, it's low. So what that means basically is that if it's got a higher bias, iron bias, you're going to hear less iron signals, but it's like a filter. It'll also hide deeper good signals as well.
Right.
Compared to a lower bias, you're going to hear more iron, but you will hear deeper signals better. So there's always a compromise when you start introducing filters and things in any machine.
Yeah. So cutting out the iron is just going to be things like nails and...
So if you're working a park, you don't want to hear, like, say, a soccer field or around a cricket oval or something like that, or an old park, something like that. you want to cut out all the iron there, because the iron there is just old nails and things. So you really don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So you adjust your iron bias to suit that situation.
Yeah.
But if you're out relicking in an old town site, you might want to find an old piece of iron or something that's
old horseshoe,
old horseshoe, or something that's related that you might specifically be looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Very good. Okay, on to our next question. What are the advantages of the new target ID range, 119 target ID range, compared to older models?
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
More target range, the easier it is to identify what you're detecting. That's basically it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And does the Equinox 900 offer any specific improvements for gold prospecting?
Yeah, it does. It runs on 40 kilohertz as the highest setting, so you don't have to run this machine in multi-IQ. You can run it on 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 or 40 kilohertz.
Right.
And if you're in the gold fields, it would be preferable to run it on 40 kilohertz.
Okay.
Because that is more reactive to gold.
Right. Yeah. So in what cases would you run it at less kilohertz?
If you're looking for deep silvers or deeper coins.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you sorry, I've got to laugh.
You've got little break
Sorry,
food. Peter can have a laugh.
Sorry. I'll tell you why. Because
why?
there's a mouse running up there behind there.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
Sorry, guys. We just had a little upset. I think we're just about done for the night, aren't we? Okay, let's see quickly what
That's
else
a good way to finish it off.
I think it is a good way to finish it off. Talisha's just jumped up on her chair. So anyway, so we have our winners have been chosen for the night. Congratulations to Aaron King, who owns the GPX 6000. So one of these Mine Lab water bottles are coming out to you, Aaron, or ring the store anyway and see how we'll get that to you. And the other winner is Tom Kirkman. So congratulations, Tom, who not sure if he owns or wanting to buy an Equinox 900 and also a STC 2300. Owns both of those. So congratulations, guys, 2 giveaway water bottles. Wonderful. Okay. Did we have any questions, or are we going to skip them tonight?
No, come on.
Okay, we've got a couple of quick ones.
I told you. Are you mucking around?
Talisha.
Oh
my God. Oh no, we're just
if I turn this into a comedy session, get Darren back. Get Darren back. He's a bit more serious, eh?
Okay. So, which coil is the best for small gold in Ballarat? Now, I guess that depends on which detector we're talking about.
If you've got a 5000, the brain fade. I just saw one in the shop today.
The little Sadie.
The Sadie coil. That's it. Yeah, the Sadie coil.
8x6, isn't it?
Yeah.
A gold nugget finder.
They are hot.
Excellent.
They are very good for that.
Yeah. So that's if it's a 5. If it's a 6000.
6000, you want to put the 17-inch on for bigger, deeper targets.
Okay, but this question about small gold. Small gold in Ballarat.
With the 6, you're fine. Just use standard coil.
Just use standard coil for the 6.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
yes, for 60.
The elliptical coils are a bit more sensitive because of the point.
Okay.
So if you're looking, you can't hold a straight face.
I'm thinking about mice now.
It's all right. The elliptical. No. Oh, the elliptical coils, because they are elliptical, are a bit more sensitive on the tip. So they're a little bit more sensitive to smaller gold. But actually, yesterday, me and Tony went out detecting, and he's got the standard. Come on, Leanne.
I'm watching Talisha,
Yeah.
who's perched on the back of her chair, taking a look out for mice. Sorry.
No, that's right. I was out with Tony yesterday, and he had the standard coil on, and I had my Exceed coil on, and he got a target, and he could hear it with his, and then I used my Exceed coil, and you could just hear it a little bit better than the standard coil. You can still hear it with the standard coil, no problem. You wouldn't have missed it.
Yeah.
But the Exceed coil just brought it up that little fraction, only because it's elliptical.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So elliptical coils will always be a little bit more sensitive than standard round coils.
Yeah, right.
Just the shape of the coil, that's all.
Yeah. And CoilTech also make aftermarket coils for the 6000 as well, don't they?
Yeah. And they've also got 2 ellipticals and at 1 round.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question talks about the 9-inch Gold Hawk, which is a CoilTech one. For deeper targets in New South Wales with the 6000, am I better using the 14-inch coil or just stick with the 9-inch Gold Hawk?
If you use the 14-inch coil, that will be roughly the same depth as the 11-inch. So you're not going to gain much there. You'll gain a little bit with coverage, but if you put the 9-inch on, you're going to get less depth just because of the size of the coil. I would recommend using the 17-inch.
Yeah.
From Minelab. That's a great coil.
Yeah, that is a good coil.
That is really good coil.
Especially if you want to go deeper.
If you want to go deep, you've got to put a bigger coil on. It's just simple as that.
Standard stock practice.
It's still sensitive because I used it not last year, the year before in WA.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was good.
Good. You found gold with it too, didn't you?
I did. That's even better.
That's right.
Okay. And my plan this year is actually not to use the standard coils. My plan this year is to use the 17-inch coil all the time. So I bought myself a hip stick and all that. So I've got the weight supported so I can use it a bit longer. It is a bit heavier.
Yeah.
But it's a very good coil.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. And also there was a question from last week that we hadn't answered, which was, do you use a personal location beacon when out prospecting for safety, Darren? Now, I know that Darren doesn't Darren doesn't use a personal location beacon, but he does use a GPS for safety. So you do need to make sure that you do have safety gear, guys. And with that, I think we are going to end the show right on time too.
It's mouse o'clock,
isn't it? It's mouse o'clock. I'm getting out of here. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.